Facts from the first edition of Assassin's Creed. Ubisoft has achieved great success in the last 14 years with the introduction of the Assassin's Creed IP. As you know, different versions of this series have been published so far, each of which tells unique stories. The first version of the Assassin's Creed series was first published in 2007 and received good reviews from critics. This open-world action-adventure game tells the story of a character named Altair during the Crusades. In this game, in addition to the historical events of that era, science fiction elements and parkour were used. It can be said that this version is under the shadow of Ezio's trilogy and Assassin's Creed Black Flag games and Odyssey and Valhalla versions. First fact, this game was originally intended as a reboot for the Prince of Persia series. Game flashbacks, wall climbing and jumping are all familiar elements of the Prince of Persia series. In fact, the game Assassin's Creed was first known as Prince of Persia: Assassin. This game was supposed to be a spin-off for Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. However, Ubisoft scrapped the Prince of Persia: Assassin concept because their story was not focused on the Persian prince. After that, the Assassin's Creed IP was officially created. Fact 2: Assassin was inspired by a real sect called the Hashin. To know this fact, you must be interested in the history and know the details of the first version of Assassin's Creed. Assassin sect is actually adapted from a real sect called Hashishin, and this group has a historical background. The leader of this group was Hassan Sabah. The Hashishins were a Nizari sect of Shia Islam, and its members were often present in Iran and Syria, and they were one of the opponents of the Seljuk government. This sect was finally destroyed by the Mongols. However, there is still some interesting information about this sect. In Assassin's Creed, members of this group were trained assassins who were used to kill important leaders. The group in the game is a completely fictional version of the real Hashishin cult. The third fact, this game is inspired by a novel called Alamut. This case is related to the assassins of the Hashishin cult, which the mentioned game was also inspired by. The book Alamut, written by Vladimir Batrol, was published in 1938. This book is about the Hashishin sect and their leader Hassan Sabah. Many elements from this book made it into the original game. For example, the sentence "nothing is true, everything is permitted" is an alternative translation of a sentence in the original novel. While it has been over 70 years since this novel was published, it is now widely distributed as the novel that inspired the first Assassin's Creed. Fact 4: Ubisoft's marketing was not focused on the Animus idea. The Animus device is the main element of the sci-fi part of Assassin's Creed. However, the mentioned idea was not well received by Ubisoft's marketing team. In the Animus device, the player could be in the role of a historical figure at one time and a person from the future at another time. This led to the first inspiration for the game Prince of Persia: The Sand of Time. At that time, the prince tells a story that happened before. In a way, the Animus does the same thing. However, the role of the Animus in the Assassin's Creed series gradually faded. Where in the Black Flag version, this device was completely removed. Fifth fact, Desmond Miles' face was modeled after Francisco Rands, a Canadian actor. Francisco Randes is a Canadian actor whose face was used for the characters Desmond Miles, Altair, and Ezio. This actor was selected by Ubisoft's modeling department. The company was looking for a figure with Mediterranean features to bring Altair's character back to the time of the Crusades. Sixth fact, Desmond Miles is voiced by Nolan North. If you have listened to the voice of Desmond Miles in the game Assassin's Creed, you will notice that his voice is familiar. Nolan North, the famous video game voice actor, was responsible for the voice of Desmond Miles. So far, North has voiced many movies, series, and video games. In addition to the Uncharted series, he has performed the role of voice actor in games such as Prince of Persia, God of War, The Last of Us, Batman, Arkham Origins, and the Deadpool game series. The seventh fact, Altair's inability to swim has been explained. The fact is that Altair can swim in the game. However, when you play as Altair, you will drown by falling into the water. This was caused by a glitch in the Animus. This is explained by Rebecca Crane in one of today's cutscenes in one of the game's sequels. According to these descriptions, the Animus device was initially accompanied by problems. With these issues fixed and the Animus developed, players could swim in later versions. As for the real reason, it's possible that the creators saw it as an extra challenge, or that swimming wasn't an important part. However, fan feedback may change their minds. 8th truth, Altair's name is meaningful. Altair ibn Lahad is the full name of the character Altair, which means the bird of nobody's son. Almost most fans of this series realize how meaningful this name was for the character of Altair. First of all, birds are an important element in the Assassin's Creed series. They are symbols for the cult of assassins and often mark safe places to jump and hide. Also, the phrase nobody's son refers to Altair's orphanhood. He was raised by the sect of assassins, Hassassin. 9th truth, Masyaf is a real place. Masyaf is a real city in the northwest of Syria. Fans of the Assassin's Creed series, upon hearing this name, remember the castle of Masyaf in the first version, which exists in reality. This place was controlled by Hassassin sect for some time. This castle was under restoration from 2000 to 2006, and today you can visit it. During the restoration process, people discovered what they thought was a hidden underground tunnel and a bathroom. 10th fact, the character of the teacher is adapted from Rashiduddin Sinan. Rashid al-Din Sinan was the leader of the Hassassin sect at the end of the 12th century. The creators of Assassin's Creed were inspired by Rashiduddin Sinan to create the character of Mualim. The development team did not use the character's real name for legal reasons. However, they ended up using the name in an Assassin's Creed infographic. Mualim is the antagonist of the first version of this collection. Subscribe to our channel and wait for our new videos, friends.